First of all, I have to present a question from Mahad the Bush from Qadian. She has sent...
Now from Misr.
Now from Misr, yes.
So she has gone back to Egypt.
Yeah.
And perhaps she sent this from Qadian prior to her departure. Yes. Please.
So she has quoted 3 verses from Surah Hamim Sajda, and then she puts the question. The verses are as follows. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. قُلْ إِنَّكُمْ لَتَكْفُرُونَ بِالَّذِي خَلَقَ الْأَرْضَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ وَتَجْعَلُونَ لَهُ أَنْدَادًا ذَلِكَ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ وَجَعَلَ فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ مِنْ فَوْقِهَا.
I think the question is about 8 days involved in this. I know that. Yes, please go on.
وَجَعَلَ فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ مِنْ فَوْقِهَا وَبَارَكَ فِيهَا وَقَدَّرَ فِيهَا أَقْوَاتَهَا فِي 4 أَيَّامٍ سَوَاءً لِلسَّائِلِينَ ثُمَّ اسْتَوَى إِلَى السَّمَاءِ وَهِيَ دُخَانٌ فقال لها وللأرض ائتيا طوعا أو كرها قالتا أتينا طائعين فقضاهن 7 سماوات في يومين وأوحى في كل سماء أمرها وزينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وحفظا ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم. Surah Hamim Sajda, verse number 10 to 13. The translation is as follows. Say, do you really believe in Him who created the earth in 2 days, and do you set up equals to Him, that is the Lord of the worlds? He placed therein firm mountains, rising above its surface, and blessed it with abundance, and provided therein its foods in proper measure in 4 days, alike for all seekers. Then He turned to the heaven while it was something like smoke, and said to it and to the earth, come ye both of you willingly or unwillingly. They said, we come willingly. So He completed them into 7 heavens in 2 days, and He revealed to each heaven its function. And we adorned the lowest heaven with lamps for light and for protection. That is the decree of the mighty, the all-knowing. The question she has presented is like this. She says, here it is mentioned that Allah first created the earth in 2 days and provided therein its foods in proper measure in 4 days. Then He turned to the heavens and completed them in the form of 7 heavens in 2 days. Please explain the meaning of these verses and explain why when we add the days of the creation of the earth and heaven, here they add up to 8 days, 2 plus 4 plus 2. Not 6 as mentioned in other verses of the Holy Quran.
This is a question which has baffled the minds of so many people, but to me it is just a plain truth. It should not baffle any mind at all, because in the first place 6 days are mentioned for the creation of earth and its atmosphere. Like the 6 days elsewhere are mentioned for the completion of the whole universe. So people confuse this verse with other verses which speak of the creation of universe. This verse is very clear. It speaks only of the completion of the earth for the purposes for which it was created. So 2 days, start and I'll explain everything.
قُلْ إِنَّكُمْ لَتَكْفُرُونَ بِالَّذِي خَلَقَ الْأَرْضَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ.
The earth was created in 2 periods, right? Then
وَجَعَلَ فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ مِنْ فَوْقِهَا وَبَارَكَ فِيهَا وَقَدَّرَ فِيهَا أَقْوَاتَهَا فِي 4 أَيَّامٍ.
So whatever happened to the earth. The creation of the earth which took 2 periods of time, which means 2 different phenomena which can be divided into 2 periods. So earth, the creation of earth must have gone through that specific period when in the first phase the first phase was completed under certain principles, then there is a dividing line between. Then the second phase began of the development of not of the universe but of this earth. Once it was created as such, then all the references are given to the development of this earth, not of the heavenly bodies at all. Read, it's very plain. Read again.
وَجَعَلَ فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ
جَعَلَ فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ
وَجَعَلَ فِيهَا رَوَاسِيَ مِنْ فَوْقِهَا وَبَارَكَ فِيهَا وَقَدَّرَ فِيهَا أَقْوَاتَهَا فِي أَرْبَعَةِ أَيَّامٍ سَبْعًا لِلسَّائِلِينَ.
These 4 plus 2 make 6 days. So not only the heavens were created in 6 days, but also earth was created in 6 days altogether and completed as such. So there is no contradiction. This statement does not clash with other statements which speak of the beginning of heavens and earth. And those verses are so clear and specific that you cannot confuse those verses with this verse or these verses. These verses only indicate one thing, that the completion of 6 periods for every heavenly area is a routine with God. So altogether 7 days are involved in every periodic or limited creation within the universe. This supports my view expressed before, which speaks of the 7 days as a repeating phenomenon. It applies to the universe and the subunits of the universe and the subunits of those subunits until it applies even to the earths created therein, which are many, not like this earth alone, not one earth alone, but one other verse of the Quran says, like the number of the heavens, they also are numbered 7. So this means that like a week, which is a repeatable and complete phenomenon, the entire creation processes can be divided into 7 periods, individually as well. Not only as a part of a universe which was created in 7 periods, but each part, each constituent of this universe can be divided into 7 periods. 6 of them will be, like the creation of heaven, active development of these parts, units. And the 7th will be, as has been mentioned, is the rest period. The rest period indicates that God takes commands. God takes command. Having finished his involvement in the creative processes, then he begins to govern and rule the product of these creative processes, sitting on his throne. On the 7th day, he is not idle at all. On the 7th day, he sits as a governing person or governing power over all that he has created, and sees to it that everything runs in accordance with his plan. Now turn to the other 2 days. They are different. They are not applicable to the earth's creation and completion.
ثم استوى إلى السماء وهي دخان فقال لها وللأرض ائتيا.
Now which sama? When earth was already created, the entire universe could not have been dukhan. It has been clearly mentioned elsewhere that out of dukhan, God separated the dukhan into heavens and earth. So this part after the completion of the earth could not apply to that earlier dukhan. It must apply to the dukhan of the sama dunya. So the sama here is the sama dunya, not the sama of the universe. It's very relevant and a continuous flow of the statement. So this is exactly what we see actually happened. When the earth was completed with all these mountains and things, the atmosphere around it was full of immense steam. Unbelievably high, projecting into the universe, and so massive as it covered the entire earth as it developed. Then God broke that steam into two clear parts, so that both earth and the steam around participated within 2 days to God's command and perfected what we see of the earth today as perfected. Now this is a very profound scientific statement on which I have written elsewhere in detail. When the earth was created, it had 2 periods of clear definition of its sama. In one period, it was all confusion around the earth, and the atmosphere of the earth could not be divided into 7 samad dunya. Then God told them, come, ta'an wa karhan. Let us complete the whole process. So then things happened which created all the difference between the previous state of earth with dukhan and the state of the earth which emerged later on. So this statement is not at all contradictory to what has been said, mention of this subject elsewhere in the Quran. It opens up a new avenue of thinking, how the creative processes went on and on into similar periods, but those periods applying to a smaller place, smaller space. And each smaller space in the universe had the similar treatment as the entire universe had before it. Let's ask Amina Chakmak. Did you follow what I said or not? Clearly. No problem now. No problem with this verse.
I'm going to translate it.
What?
I'm going to translate it.
Okay, good. Inshallah. Yes. So this dukhan which is referred to can be scientifically proved to exist in the form of enormous steam, because all the scientists who have pondered over the question of the beginning of life on earth, they divide the phase of life, of the phases of the earth into 2 parts. One part when it was impossible for any creation like life, any lifelike creation, to have been created on earth. This is impossible, because the entire oceans of the earth were boiling. For 3 million years they continuously boiled. What would happen if you boil a kettle for some time? The whole room will be filled with steam. So imagine all the waters of the earth boiling constantly. Immense steam will be released, which will fill the jug, the space around. This steam, as it goes up, must condense after a while, then shower on the same earth as water, and then the process should begin continuously. That is why all the earth was not dried up by the steam, but it went on emitting steam, which was returned to it in the form of water, which may have reached the earth as well as which may have melted into steam or evaporated into steam on the way down. Now these are possible scenarios. But the fact the scientists claim that the earth remained boiling is almost an accepted fact by the community of scientists. So these verses indicate that sama. And then Allah ordered them to behave a little bit, and get settled down into clear shapes of heavens and earth. And that is why he says, Ethiya Tahamudala. It's a new process of Ethiya, not the old process of Ethiya. A new process of Ethiya applicable only to the earth and its atmosphere. Right?